Hey, friends, welcome back to Mixing Up Success, where we blend creativity, business, and a whole lot of heart. I'm recording this episode from the beautiful Hotel Sylvia on Nye Beach in Newport, Oregon. The ocean is right outside my window, and this peaceful view is exactly what I needed. I came here for a few days to reset, to think, breathe, and fill my creative cup before diving into my busiest season. But I'm not just here to rest. I traded photography work for my stay, and honestly, it's been the perfect mix of purpose and peace. Today, I want to talk about something that has shaped my business from the very beginning: photography. Specifically, how powerful it is for small business storytelling, and how learning to capture my own work completely changed the way people saw my brand. I started learning photography the same week I started selling cookies, January 2nd, 2019, literally the day after I launched. I called a friend who's a professional photographer and said, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I need to figure out how to show people what I make. She came over and gave me two rules that changed everything. One, always shoot in natural light. And two, keep your background neutral so your product can shine. Simple advice, but it was the foundation of my entire visual brand. I bought a $2 piece of white cardboard from Walmart, set it by a window, and started taking pictures. That was my studio. And it worked. We had a nice camera we bought when our son was born. You know, the one that every parent buys that swears they'll use every single day. Yeah, it's taken a lot more photos of cookies than kids. Over time, I started experimenting, learning settings, playing with textures, and focus, chasing better light. I was still working night shifts, so I didn't always have daylight to photograph my work. I bought light boxes, tried every gadget I could find, but nothing ever came close to natural light. When I built my commercial kitchen, I splurged and I installed a glass front garage door. It cost about $10,000. And I had to do some extra work to make sure it was food safe and passed code. But it was a non-negotiable. That door has been one of the best investments I've ever made. It floods the space with natural light and allows me to capture my work exactly the way I want it to feel: bright, real, and alive. Over the years, friends began asking me to take photos for them, their products, their spaces, their businesses. I don't advertise it, but I love doing it because I know how powerful it is to help someone see their work through a camera lens. We live in such a visual world. People scroll fast, and often your photo is the only chance you have to stop them. Photography isn't just about showing what you do, it's helping people feel what you do. There's something about a really good photo that just makes us pause. When we see an amazing photo of a place, we imagine ourselves there. We can almost feel the warmth, the textures, the air. When we see a beautiful photo of cookies or a cozy table or a bakery counter, it stirs something deeper. We don't just want the thing, we want the feeling it gives us. That's what a good photo does. It doesn't just show, it invites. It makes us want to step into that story. And that's what makes it so powerful for small businesses, because people don't connect first with facts. They connect with feeling. A photo says, this is quality, this is care, this is worth your attention. For me, photography has always been about capturing care. The light hitting just right, the texture of the icing, the story behind the bake. Those small details tell your audience this person pays attention. That's what builds connection and credibility. We're wired for visuals. Our brains process images 60,000 times faster than text. Before someone even reads your caption, they've already decided how they feel about your brand from your photo. That's why photography isn't just nice to have, it's essential. It's your handshake, your storefront, your first impression. I've seen that power over and over again in my own business. Not long ago, I told my marketing manager not to post too many custom cookie photos during the holidays because we were already at capacity. I wanted to protect the time and space. Then one morning, she shared a carousel of some of my favorite cookie sets, beautifully photographed, perfectly lit. And I thought, it's fine. Within 48 hours, I had 10 dozen new cookie orders. But it wasn't just that people wanted the cookies, they wanted what the cookies shared. They wanted the story. They wanted cookies to be at their party, to be part of their creativity and woven into their story. That's the real power of a photo. It doesn't just make people want what you create, it makes them want to be part of it. As a small business, that's what we're really doing. We're sharing an experience. And photos allow us to do that. Don't underestimate the power of a photo, and don't forget to budget time to take them. When I started, I photographed every single custom cookie set I made because I had to. I had nothing else to share without them. Now I have hundreds that I haven't even posted or shared, but I still take them. And one of my favorite things is that when I email a client that their cookies are ready for pickup, I include a photo. It lets them see their cookies before they even arrive, and it builds excitement and joy. I have also leaned on professionals. Amy from Pickles Photography has been capturing my story for 7 years now. She's caught moments I never could because, well, I can't photograph myself, even though I try. Having her work alongside mine has elevated my brand in ways that are hard to describe. The amount of content I have and the quality is unmatched. People sometimes ask how I actually capture my images, and honestly, it's pretty simple. I use a 35mm lens for most of my detailed cookie work. It's versatile and crisp, perfect for capturing textures. I set up for good lighting, always near a window, or wherever natural light feels soft and even. If you've ever walked into my bakery and the lights are off, don't be surprised. We work in the dark a lot, or at least without overhead lights, because I get my best photos that way. The best advice I can give: turn the lights off and use natural light. It makes all the difference. I adjust my shutter speed, but I try not to go so low that I can't shoot freehand. I rarely use a tripod. I don't have the patience to stop and set it up. I photograph what looks pretty to me. I don't overthink it. Some days the shots are magic. Other days, nothing clicks and I just move on. I do minimal editing, a little Lightroom for lighting and cropping, and that's it. And I've learned this: if I don't share the photos while they're fresh, I probably never will. Right now, I have 43,805 photos sitting on my phone in the cloud. So when people call me an influencer, I laugh because really, I'm just capturing the world the way I see it. Capturing your work is hard. If you can't make it part of your workflow, it probably won't happen. So I've created little goals for myself. I tell myself, capture one image and one short video from each cookie tray. Most days, I have 10 or more trays going, So by the end of the day, that's a ton of content. Just recently, I followed that rule, and in 2 days, while making 60 dozen cookies, I handed my marketing manager 100 pieces of content. And it didn't slow me down that much. I also make it a habit to photograph every custom set, even if it's just a quick iPhone portrait before packaging. That one small habit, repeated over 7 years, has generated thousands of unique photos of my work. It's become part of my rhythm, and that's the advice I want to leave you with. You don't need a fancy system, just a simple habit. Start small, one photo, one video, one tray, and over time, you'll build a library that tells your story better than words ever could. I also want to be honest about something. I don't take as many behind the scenes photos as I probably should, partly because it's hard. I'm usually doing everything myself, and I don't want to take the time to switch between baking and camera or whatever it is. But the other reason is hard to admit. Over the years, I have been torn apart online by strangers judging how I do things, how my kitchen looks, how I pipe, how I clean. And even though I know they're trolls and it shouldn't matter, I'm human and it hurts. So I stopped sharing as much of those real, messy moments because when you don't share, you don't get destroyed. But here's the truth. Those behind the scenes moments are often the most powerful parts of your story. They're what help people connect with you. So I'm learning slowly that I can protect my peace and still share in ways that feel safe. If you've ever hesitated to show your process because of judgment, you're not alone. You don't have to share everything, just something true. And now, sitting here at Hotel Sylvia, I'm reminded that creativity often blooms in stillness. I've spent these days walking the beach, camera in hand, chasing light through the windows, capturing textures, finding beauty in quiet corners. It doesn't feel like work. It feels like coming home to myself. Photography has always been my way of slowing down, of noticing the beauty in the small things, and remembering that even in the busiest seasons, there's still time to see. So if you've been meaning to share more of your photos of your business, start now. Find your light, take the picture, share your story, because your story deserves to be seen. Thanks for joining me for this seaside reflection from Hotel Sylvia. If this episode resonated with you, follow Mixing Up Success on Apple or Spotify. And if you share your own business photos this week, tag me at Dani's Kitchen Shop. I would love to see your story through your lens.